Welcome back to the deep dive. We often see Johnny Depp in these huge public roles, Captain Jack Sparrow, or, well, recent headlines.
hmm
But today we're looking at something different, something surprisingly personal. His thoughts on being a father and what home really means to him.
Yeah, specifically about raising his kids, Lily, Rose, and Jack, with Vanessa Paradis over in France. It's quite revealing.
It really is. Our mission today is to sort of unpack that, to understand this maybe unexpected side of him.
Okay.
So let's get into it. When we talk about this fatherhood aspect,
Yeah.
what's the main emotional thread he's putting out there?
Well, what's really striking is just how much emotional weight he gives that specific period. He actually told the Sunday Times, quote, "I was Papa. I cannot tell you how much I loved being Papa."
Wow, I was Papa.
Yeah, it really highlights how profound that time was for him. Not just a phase, but really fundamental.
That quote alone says a lot. But here's where it gets, I think, really fascinating. It's where this happened. He ties this deep feeling directly to raising them near Saint-Tropez in France.
Right, on that estate he bought back in, 2001? Where he and Vanessa Paradis lived for 14 years.
Exactly, before the split in
Right.
2012. And he was so direct about it. He said, the first time I felt I had a home was the place in the south of France where Vanessa and I raised the kiddies.
And he doubled down on that too, didn't he?
He did. Stated flat out that's the only place that ever felt like home. Now, for someone who's lived all over, constantly in the public eye, why do you think that place, that specific spot, meant so much?
Well, I think it really speaks volumes about what defines home, doesn't it? Especially for someone like him. They made a conscious choice, it seems, to raise the children out of the spotlight there.
Ah, right. So it wasn't just property.
No, exactly. More like a sanctuary, a place where he could just be Papa, away from all the Hollywood stuff. It underlines that for him, home wasn't just bricks and mortar. It was tied to that feeling, those experiences.
And reflecting on that time also brings up, well, the passage of time itself, naturally.
Yeah.
He mentions a painting, doesn't he?
Yeah, of his daughter Lily Rose when she was 10, and he notes she's 25 now, and he never actually finished it.
And he said something like, years get away from us, don't they? It admits to feeling empty nest syndrome. There's a real vulnerability there.
Absolutely. Which, leads to that whole dynamic shift in parenting. He talks about the transition from being Papa to just dad.
Right. He said, then suddenly Papa was out the window, I was dad.
And that's such a universal thing for parents, isn't it? That shift as kids grow up and find their own way. You can almost hear the wistfulness.
Yeah, definitely. But he also has this funny line, kind of longing for Papa to come back. He says, but Papa was awesome, and I'm getting old enough for Papa to possibly come back.
Yeah, followed by that very Depp-like comment about someone needing to call him Papa again.
Right. And he even sort of links his current life, splitting time between the UK and the Bahamas instead of the US, back to that feeling of belonging he found in France.
Yeah.
So, okay, putting it all together,
Mm.
what's the main takeaway for us, for the listener, from these reflections?
I think it's a really powerful reminder, honestly, that no matter how famous or, wealthy someone is, the things that really anchor us are often our closest relationships and the places where we feel genuinely, truly like we belong.
So home is much more than an address.
Exactly. It's a feeling. Deeply connected to those core personal experiences, those connections. It's a universal idea, just coming from maybe an unexpected voice.
Yet it really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hearing this perspective from Johnny Depp, someone usually in the news for, well, other things entirely. So here's maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to consider. How has your own idea of home changed over your life? What people or what moments really made a place feel like home for you?